I should probably review something this weekend. What to review though? What's a movie that a lot of people saw that I never saw this year? I guess I never saw The Bye-Bye Man. I could review that. It's kind of lonely around here. I'd like somebody to help me out. I know, I'll call Jackson. No, he'd kill me, actually. I probably shouldn't do that. Oh wait, I know! There! Oh wait, no, that guy's an ass. There! Garrison Newkirk!
Where the hell can it be now? Hello?
Gary!
What the? Nate? How the hell did you get my number?
That's not important. I need you to review The Bye-Bye Man with me.
What? Over my dead body.
I know an Asian chick I can hook you up with.
I just died on your arms tonight. Alright, I'll do the review, but you better promise me that Asian chick.
Bye-Bye Man is a new January horror film where 3 college students move into a house, and in this house they learn that other people have lived there, and for some reason there's this writing in certain places in the house that says don't think it, don't say it, and then they find out that the thing they aren't supposed to say is the Bye-Bye Man, and after they say the Bye-Bye Man himself starts to haunt them, and bad things start to happen, and they start to be haunted, and they start to go crazy because of this whole Bye-Bye Man thing, because apparently it's contagious, and if you say the name, you're gonna start to go crazy until you eventually die.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie Brown. Now, you basically summed up the plot really well of what this movie's about, so it is my turn to tell you all my 2 cents of how I feel about The Bye-Bye Man. Let me say this right now off the bat. The concept, reading it on paper or reading it on a computer or something, reading the concept for this movie is actually quite interesting of an urban legend like this of the Bye-Bye Man. You got this guy who kills, and to prevent him is to not think or not say at all. Pretty much, it is all mental stuff within this urban legend. It's all in the head and everything, and that's what I believe this character does. He's supposed to, you know, mess with your mind and everything. So, that is the thing about this particular character that, you know, this particular legend that really got me hooked. I mean, the story itself, that's my only positive. I mean, reading it on paper and reading it, what the story's about, you got something interesting of an urban legend. But how they took this urban legend and what they did, it was executed horribly. And let me tell you what right now about this concept, and I'm gonna get really upset here because this has happened how many times? I will name a few I will name at least, okay, maybe 2 films right now that did something like this that involves college kids and, you know, not caring whatsoever. You got these college kids who are rambunctious, obnoxious, and, you know, don't care whatsoever about anything until all of a sudden they get a phone call from a lady saying, "Oh, you better watch out! This guy's gonna come and kill you! He's gonna give you 7 days, he's gonna come kill you! Ah, I'm so scared! Run for your lives!" Then yeah, you got a screaming woman warning all these people, and they're like, "Nah, I don't care. Nah, I don't care whatsoever." So yeah, that's how the college kids are acting. All of a sudden, once one of their family members or close friends in that particular group get hurt or killed, then they start to worry. And they start, you know, doing the research, going to the library, digging up books, reading up facts on some sort of Wikipedia page about the urban legend, you know. Oh, they get all worried now because one of their friends got killed, yet they didn't care before about the warning. So now they get the research, they do their part, and, you know, get so interested in learning about this and, you know, try and survive from the Bye-Bye Man. Oh! So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. Now, basically what I mean is, they get a warning, they don't care. Then once someone gets hurt, they start to care. They do their research, and one by one, they pull in Agatha Christie. And what I mean by Agatha Christie is, and then we're not, one by one, one of them starts to get hurt or killed from the urban legend. And yeah, till one of them fights them off, and then boom, the good guy wins. Let me tell you right now, it's pathetic. This same crap has happened in how many movies? I'll name two of them right now. I'll name some of the latest pictures. The first Ouija movie and Rings. Yeah, those movies. Also, the adaptation of The Boogeyman as well. Okay, so there are some movies out there that doesn't have, college kids, but that particular feel of what I said, of, the warning, the not caring, then once someone gets hurt, they do the research. The Boogeyman is another one. I think the Halloween remakes? Or something like that, but yeah. But just to name, like I said, just to name a few, not, go on and on, but just to name a few of them, that has that concept where these rambunctious, obnoxious, adolescent college kids who don't care, then once someone gets hurt, they do care. And let me tell you right now, this movie, a couple people saying that this film was laughable. Honestly, though, how I feel, this movie wasn't, I didn't even laugh whatsoever. I was bored. I was that bored. I literally had to, take a break from this movie and take a nap. Because it was that boring. The spooks were completely pathetic. The suspense, there was literally no suspense for me whatsoever. The urban legend and how they were executing the story, it was nothing, to be scared of, or nothing, fear at all, or have that intention that you want to see, but it didn't have it. Also, some of the scenes, the car scene, that flippity floppity floop, and the train scene. Talk about bad acting. Talk about bad scenes. Talk about something laughable. Yeah. This was them. This was them. The Bye-Bye Man. Plus, the Bye-Bye Man himself, it wasn't even all that scary at all. It was just nothing. And here's the thing, though. In the beginning, you got this guy who goes around doing things with a gun and says, "Oh, watch out, he's gonna come get you, yada yada yada." And plus, there's no blood. In a horror film, there's supposed to be blood, but you know what? Oh well, no blood. But you know what? To summarize my particular takes before I keep dragging on, overall, the film itself was a stereotypical horror film that took a great concept with a great urban legend and executed it completely poorly. Acting was completely bland. Obviously, it was just that particular scene that you've seen before that you just can't take serious. Also, laughable and, well, pretty much for others, it's laughable and completely pathetically showcased scenes that was just, I believe, there just to be there for state of shock and just for comedic purposes, where clearly the film wasn't even that funny. Also, the character concept of making the Bye-Bye Man himself wasn't scary at all, and overall the film was bland. It was pathetic. So, you know what, for my official rating of what I gave it, since Nate, he does the whole letter grade and everything, no offense, buddy, but still, for my rating out of 5 stars, I give it a 0.5 out of 5. Just because the urban legend was hearing about his cool on paper, but again, the film itself was pathetic. I'm done. Where's my comic book?
So guys, The Bye-Bye Man is actually a movie that came out in January, and I finally got to seeing it now. I finally got to see this movie because I realized I probably should see it because it is what a lot of people are saying is one of the worst movies of the year, along with 50 Shades Darker and Fist Fight. A lot of people are saying this is one of the worst movies of the entire year, which is no surprise because it's a January horror film. So I decided I should finally watch this movie. I probably should end up doing it. I know I'm going to do it anyway, so I finally went and saw it. Another person who recently saw it is my friend Gary, who runs the NG2C Network channel, and he also runs Mr. Garrison's Film Reviews channel. He recently saw it as well, so we decided, hey, why not have Gary in a video, since I usually collab with people whenever a bad movie comes along. So I thought, hey, why not bring Gary in this video, because I've never collabed with him before and he's a cool guy. So guys, honestly, way back in like December of 2016, it feels like forever ago, I was basically like watching trailers and ads for the Bye-Bye-Man going like, hey, the title is extremely stupid and it's coming out in January, but from the premise, it seems like it could have some potential. Like I just mentioned the premise to you earlier. That sounds like it could be a good premise. It sounds like it could make a good movie. So I was watching the trailers going like, yeah, this movie's probably gonna be terrible because it's coming out in January and it's called The Bye-Bye-Man. The reviews started rolling in for that movie and I was like, yeah, the potential that I saw in that movie was probably complete bullcrap because the reviews seem to all be terrible for this movie. I haven't seen it, but maybe I could see some potential in this movie when I finally see it, but right now the reviews are terrible, everyone's saying it's horrible, and I saw the movie and they're right. They're all right. The Bye-Bye-Man is a premise that could be cool. It's a premise that could be good. It could be similar to maybe The Shining or another movie where a person goes psychologically insane. But no, instead it's about these three really boring, annoying college students and really bad acting and really bad scares that don't work at all. And this is an example of how not to make a psychological horror movie. Constantly while watching this movie I was like, how could you screw up a premise like this that could be so good and then make it this bad? Think about it this way, imagine if they remade The Shining, if they made another movie based on The Shining, except it's about two college kids that are really bad actors, and it's supposed to be more of like a teen, young adult movie. That's basically what The Bye-Bye-Man is. I think this movie could have been cool if it was maybe a husband and a wife, maybe like in their 30s or something, moving in a house, and if the writing was better with this movie, and if the acting was actually good. I feel like there are certain things that could have been maneuvered in this movie to make it a better movie, because this movie literally fails on every regard that a movie can fail. I was less pissed off with this movie than I thought I would be because I was basically just watching it in boredom and disappointment. One of the main reasons this movie fails so much is that the main three actors in this movie are atrocious. They're so bad. They are... I can't even explain. They're hilariously bad. The main hero reminds me of Hayden Christensen acting, except even worse. Yes, it's worse than Hayden Christensen, even though Hayden Christensen is so, like, hated for ruining Anakin Skywalker and all that. At least maybe they could have tried to make something interesting with the character. At least they could have been like, yeah, he's sort of an awkward, nerdy kid who's sort of an introvert, but no, they don't even have anything interesting about him. If I asked anyone to explain the personality of the characters in this movie, they wouldn't be able to, because this guy just has nothing behind him. Not only is the acting terrible for him, the main actor that plays him, but also the character has nothing to latch on to make him an interesting character. He also has a girlfriend in this movie. They're supposed to have a romance. They're supposed to have a romance that you care about, and it's supposed to be like a little heartwarming thing that you're supposed to get tension for in this movie because they're being haunted by the Bye-Bye-Man. But she is so bad in this movie. The only reason that he probably likes her is because she's attractive. She's not anything else. That's basically how I can describe the characters in this movie. They're attractive people with nothing interesting about them. They're people that have nothing interesting and the acting is terrible, but they're all like attractive people that were just like on the sidewalk and the director was like, hey, come here. I was on Survivor, so you should be in my movie. Actually, the director wasn't on Survivor. The director's husband was, I think. I don't even think I saw that Survivor season, so I don't even know who that is. But they literally feel like if I was to go into a movie with no acting experience and I was just forced to act in a big budget horror movie, I was like, it's literally like that. Like, I can't act, I haven't been trained to do that.
I'm chasing down a serious criminal, and I could use some help. Oh, I can't find him!
Ah! It just doesn't seem real enough yet! It feels like these actors had no training and they were all so bad. And especially the girl, I think, is the most boring character of all the three of them. She is so bad, but also there's the guy's friend, he's like his best friend character. He was also just so boring and the acting for him was terrible. But this character feels so unnecessary. He literally feels like he didn't need to be there. It could have just been a movie about the guy and the girl and it's sort of a romance story, tragic love story about being haunted. But this guy is just there with them and it's kind of just like he's the third wheel and he's just kind of pointless. The movie could have been an intriguing mystery with the Bye-Bye-Man, but no. Most of it is just boring. The majority of this movie is just kids walking around a house saying expositional dialogue. It's not even a bunch of false scares. It's more like people just walking around going like, hey, the Bye-Bye-Man is a thing. we gotta figure out what to do about this Bye-Bye Man. Oh, look at the house. It's so cool and beautiful. I mean, there are literally scenes where the main character just goes like, I need to Google the Bye-Bye Man. And he goes to his computer and he's like, I gotta type up searches of the Bye-Bye Man, and then the audience can know exactly what the Bye-Bye Man is and all the things about him. He goes to a library and talks to a librarian and looks up the Bye-Bye Man in like books and stuff. It was like, this is the laziest way to tell exposition ever. I've seen movies do this before, but they did it so much in this movie. Like, there's like literally like 20 minutes of this guy just researching stuff on Google and going to a library, talking to a librarian about this, just for exposition. The dramatic moments that are supposed to be shocking and scary are just like laughable and so bad because the actors are so bad and the special effects are so bad. There are so many scenes where they show like a train and the special effects look like something you'd see on YouTube that somebody would edit for YouTube Red video or something. There's even a scene towards the end of this movie where there's like this giant dog thing that's in one of the people's heads, and it looks so bad. It's hilarious though. This movie could be a guilty pleasure because of how hilariously terrible it is. Even towards the end of this movie where stuff finally starts to happen and the plot finally starts to kick in and there's finally some stuff to latch onto with the plot, it's still not interesting because it's all hilariously terrible with all the special effects and all the acting, and everything in this movie is just hilariously awful. Guys, there isn't really much to say about the Bye-Bye Man. It's just a concept that could have been cool, but it's terribly acted, it's terribly written, it's terribly told. There's so many terrible exposition scenes. The scary scenes aren't even scary because the special effects are atrocious. Nothing about this movie really works, and it's a shame because I feel like that if they got a good writer and good director with this movie, it could be actually a really cool movie. The concept sounds great. They just need a good writer, a good director, and a good acting team to make this movie actually work. But overall, nothing works in this movie. I'm not really pissed off about this movie. I'm just kind of upset because it's like this movie could have been so good, but it was just a stupid movie. I'm gonna give the Bye-Bye Man an F. Easily the worst movie I've seen all year so far. There's nothing really good about this movie, even though I wasn't like offended by it or anything. It's not like The Darkness to where it's like abomination to humanity. It's just like a movie that's just like, yeah, that was an epic fail. So guys, if you for some reason saw the Bye-Bye Man, be sure to comment your thoughts on it, be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to subscribe to Mr. Garrison. I want to thank him for being on this channel. It's really cool that I finally got to do a collab with you. And be sure to subscribe to Mr. Garrison's Film Reviews and NC2C Network because Gary's an awesome guy and I was so happy to have him on here. Alright guys, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.